Ms. McIntyre, you and your mother stand before me claiming that you are 100% certain that Mr. Wilson is your 3-year-old son, Jashawn's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
You say the only reason he has doubt is because he wants to live the single life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Wilson, you say you have more evidence than this court has ever seen before to prove that Ms. McIntyre cheated on you numerous times, and therefore you are not her son's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McIntyre, how did this relationship begin?
We was talking on Facebook. He shared a couple of pictures with me. He shared a picture like this. I thought he was very cute. He said he was gonna take care of me and my daughter.
On Facebook, he was already gonna take care of you and your daughter?
Yeah, he sold me a dream.
You had never met?
No, we never met before. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So we finally wanted to meet up, and when he got off the bus, I seen this. He catfished me. I didn't expect this. No. I did not expect this getting off the bus. No. I wanted him to go back. I did not expect this at all. No, I did not.
Bring up that other picture.
From this picture to this picture, no, I did not. No. I'm like, what happened? Like, I wanted to see this, but I got this.
Is it a totally different picture or is it just good angles?
It's good angles.
What can I show it to
or
you?
something, I don't know.
Did you try to catfish her, Mr. Wilson?
No. Lies. All the way around. I'm sexy. Why I need to catfish somebody?
Right.
Is you serious? Okay, lies.
Really?
Really. You saw what you saw. You felt to go with what you wanted to see, okay?
Oh my goodness.
We made it happen, and then bam.
Oh, you
that's
made
where
what
it
happen.
was.
You made what happen, Ja'Cory?
We made it happen.
What happened?
Point blank period.
And then
Never
bam,
made it
what?
happen,
Bam,
baby.
you made a baby?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
bam,
little
we made a baby.
So are you admitting then that this is your child?
I want to be honest. I'm not
But
here
he
to
is.
say I'm denying my kid,
He
but at the
is.
same time too, Miss McIntyre, yeah, kind of ratchet at the same time.
When you say kind of ratchet, are you indicating or inferring that she sleeps around?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't believe that he's saying that. This guy is full of it.
So, Miss McIntyre, how certain are you that
100%
Mr. Wilson is Jashawn's father?
100% sure. Why would I want to claim him as my baby dad?
So wait, I need to understand, what in the world were you all doing? I mean, you meet on Facebook, you all get together. Did you
That's the
decide to
thing.
be girlfriend and boyfriend?
Facebook was never part of the picture. That's the thing. She met me in person, real life, through a family member.
How?
Because I was messing with one of her family members, since we want to get technical.
Okay, that's what I meant. Ratchet.
I was messing with one of her family members, okay,
Uh-huh.
which brought Miss McIntyre into the picture. Okay, she knew what she was signing up for
Really?
before she got into
In
it.
Arizona?
Really?
Were you all boyfriend and girlfriend?
Oh yeah, I was rocking with her tough. I was claiming that as my girlfriend. I'm not never gonna deny that.
You were.
Yes, I was.
You didn't live together.
We lived together like after, you know.
Way after the fact Jashawn was in the picture.
Take me to the day you gave birth. Did you tell Mr. Wilson?
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Nope, not until after the fact. They claimed that they didn't have no way.
Are you serious?
They claimed they didn't have
called
no
him on
way
phone.
of getting in contact with me. They
Are
called
you
me after the
serious?
fact he was conceived. I wasn't at the hospital.
No, he was
I was
not
none
at
of
the
that.
hospital because
none of that, because they
he
didn't want me to
said
be there.
He didn't
Point blank
have.
period.
Why wouldn't we want him to be there?
Period, because she
Sister,
don't like me, just
he
like I don't like her.
didn't have a
So, of course she
ride.
didn't
That
want
was
me
his
to.
excuse.
For real,
That was
'cause she
his
said
excuse.
they claimed.
He didn't have a ride. I called him.
After the
I
fact, though.
called him when she was in labor.
Never.
I
Lies.
called him
My
from the
baby was
hospital
breached.
room when she was in labor.
Lies.
And
I
what
couldn't
happened?
call him
And he-
before, like,
One at a time.
I couldn't call him before my baby was breached. I picked up phone. I told my mama to talk to him. And he said on the phone that I don't have a ride up there. I can't get up there.
That
it
was
was at South
after the
Suburban
fact.
in Chicago.
After the fact, the baby done came out and all that.
No.
I wasn't warned at all. And the
Corey,
excuse that they gave to everybody, oh, I wasn't reachable. I was reachable because as soon as the baby was pushed out the womb, you so
called
knew how to dial my number and get in contact with me.
I
though.
had
but
emergency.
you
That was
didn't
my
have a
biggest
ride.
thing. But what happened to the big old
But your
gap? Where's
baby
the
was
gap
born
at, though?
and you didn't have a ride.
My thing is, it
You
don't
should've
matter.
walked.
Okay, it don't
You should've
matter.
walked.
You should have called me before, not after he was
You
born.
don't know.
I'm not
The
finna
baby
make
How do
you
you
a
know
ticket
you're gonna
for
go in
nothing.
labor? How do you
Is
know
you
you're gonna go in
So
labor?
listen, question. The man has a point. When you say, oh, I think this is it. I think I'm gonna have him. What do you do from that point? Get in a car?
Right.
Get in a taxi?
I got a car.
So then at that point, why wasn't he called?
He was called when I wasn't in so much pain, and we were sitting in the room, okay? When her
I
pain
didn't think I was gonna
subsided,
have it today.
okay,
At that day.
when her pain subsided, then she said, "Ma, we gotta call Mr. Wilson."
And you did.
Yeah, she did, and she told me to talk to him, but I was in the same room that she was in.
And you remember this conversation?
Yes, I do.
Miss McIntyre. So you're saying he's incorrect when he says he wasn't even notified.
Right.
He was notified the day she was notified. The day she went in labor, he was notified.
But he said the baby
It
was
wasn't
already
even
here.
on my due date or nothing. My due date was October 30th. He came
So
out
you never
October
came
9th.
up there, Mr. Wilson?
Correct.
All right. Did you put his name on the birth certificate?
No.
Nope.
Did you give the baby his last name?
No.
No.
Shirley didn't.
And why is that?
That's because she's not for sure.
I am
She's
for
not.
sure.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Did you put Mr. Wilson on child support, Ms.
Nope.
McIntyre?
I'm in that process, yes. I got his social.
Hasn't done anything for him?
Not to my knowledge.
And believe it or not, if this baby not mine, I'm not gonna.
But
do
it
nothing.
is yours.
I'm not.
But it
It's
is
that
yours.
simple.
You haven't did anything.
I got a
yours.
1-year-old daughter. I take
It
care of
is
faithfully.
yours.
You never
That's the
did
thing.
anything
I'm not.
anyway.
It is yours.
So I want to understand your doubt, Mr. Wilson. I want to understand. Why do you doubt Jay Sean is your biological son?
Because I have got texts from family members. Okay, people get in their feelings, and that's what I love about people. Because people get in their feelings, get mad, and that's when true stories come out. Okay.
What are the true stories?
Okay, supposedly, I got texts that somebody that I personally knew face to face was messing around with Miss McIntyre around the same time I was messing around with Miss McIntyre.
So do you have that proof here?
Okay, then, hold on, not
Do you
only
have that proof here?
Where's the
No.
Not only
No.
that, though. My thing is this, not only that, I have
Where's
called
the
Miss
text?
McIntyre in her phone
Where's the text?
a couple of times with other dudes offering favors for jobs. Now, let's get this
please.
correct. Let's get this correct. I brought it to her attention. I'm a real man before I get my assumptions going. I like to ask.
Mr. Wilson,
And
you're not a man.
I asked her.
You're not
she
a
denied
man,
it.
Mr.
Then she came out later on about it and was like, oh yeah, I was just doing it because I needed some money, woo, woo, woo. And I was like, for what? I was like, because
Really?
at the end of the day, I went hard for, I put myself in bad situations for this girl right here. You feel me? So yeah, I was hurt. So I went out there, I was super cheating. You know what I'm saying? I served.
Yeah.
Super
When you
cheating.
come back, when you
That's
come
the
back,
first.
you come
I was
back
super
with two,
cheating.
With
I
two
was-
transies, right?
I was
That day when I was
super
asleep,
cheating.
When I was
You
asleep,
feel me?
huh? You come back with two transies, right?
Super sleep. I was
Huh?
cheating
Yeah,
with
you can't hear that.
everybody
You can't
and
hear that.
anybody. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be real with you. Because at the point, I'm like, all right,
You
this
cheat on me with
relationship
who,
ain't not
Ja'Cory?
going over.
Because super cheating
Yeah, super. I'm gonna say
is
super cheating.
it's elevated.
Yeah. I'm being honest with you. That was
So
me.
you were just sleeping with anybody.
At the,
And everybody.
That's scary.
Anybody, boys, girls, whatever. Transies, all that. Yes.
when she got pregnant with Jay Sean, Miss McIntyre left me for like 4 or 5 months. She went MIA, unseen, unnoticed. Miss McIntyre was nowhere to be found, so what I'm supposed to do?
What do you mean she was nowhere to be found?
When I say nowhere to be found, I mean,
I left
I tried to reach
because
her, I tried to contact her, all
I
that.
left because
I got no
she know
research,
me.
none of that.
That's the reason why I left him for the 4th. Yes, I did. I don't want to be bothered with that.
So you admit you did leave?
Yes, I don't want to be bothered with that.
What is that you're holding,
don't mean
Mr.
that
Wilson?
It's still his baby.
These my little ghosts for the little months that she was missing. I can explain
Oh,
detail, because I can get into detail. It's no problem.
Oh, well, I'm into detail too, so let's see.
Okay. All right. January, I totally disagree with this because we kind of didn't really start making it happen like that till like way after my birthday, which is on March 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, but since she said she was on January, we gonna follow with that. All right, so boom, she was gone May. Let's put it right there, ghost. Didn't know where to find Teresa. I'm hearing her line, not getting no texts. I never been to one doctor's appointment, not one. All righty, I'm letting it gonna be what it's gonna be.
You couldn't get there.
So I'm steady rotating around the circle. Okay, come June, that's the whole June the sun, that's summertime. Okay?
One of your ghosts fell.
Yeah, just like
You
him.
know,
Okay.
that's June. That's another time. I'm
So
like,
the ghost means she's missing in action.
missing in action.
And one
Nowhere to be
surprise-
found.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be found.
None of that.
Can't see her.
Can't
Where
see
were
her.
you staying?
I done moved on.
Where were you staying?
Found somebody else to be with.
Your ghost fell
His
again.
And all
ghost
that.
is falling, Your Honor,
Okay.
and one is upside down.
And
That should
then-
tell you something about him.
And then come July, they not sticking, but
This is one amazing exhibit you brought today,
know.
Mr. Wilson.
to sum it all up, I ain't here to Teresa and to this day. Then when she told me that Jay Sean was born, she just wanted me to play this big role. Hold on, fall back, shorty, because that's not what's gonna happen. It's not
Wait,
gonna
I'm
happen
counting
like
back. So Jay Sean was born in October, and in green it says Miss McIntyre conceives the baby. But you said when you first stepped up to your exhibit that you didn't think that you all really started having sex until after your birthday.
that. After my birthday, because we was still filling each other out. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know if we was gonna be with each other, if we was just gonna play around.
So you're saying if she's pregnant with your child, where in the world is she for 4 full months?
Right. Who does that? Who goes ghost like that? Then when I don't want to play
Breaking
my
up
part,
with
you want
Your Honor,
to
where
get
would
mad?
you
Who
be?
does that? Don't nobody do that.
So basically, this is the case of the catfish ghost Casper.
Yes.
Pretty much.
May I say something, Your Honor? Where would any woman be if they were treated that way? You know,
So
every
what
time
you're
you look,
saying,
he
Miss
was being mean.
McIntyre, is you had just had enough and you went ghost because you were done. You were fed up.
Yes.
Okay,
After all
you
that-
So
was-
why did you reappear?
my point.
I reappeared because I wanted my son to be with his father.
Okay. So do you hear her explanation?
I do right here.
Does that make sense?
It makes a little sense, but I'm not going for it.
But Jay Sean is now 3 years old.
3.
It's been a long time since she went ghost.
He don't even
Right.
he don't even know him.
And I don't even remember diapers.
Mr. Wilson, you haven't done anything for Jay Sean.
No.
Nope.
Why?
I really don't think Jay Sean mine. Jay Sean looks nothing like me
That's not true.
at all. My jeans and my dad's jeans.
Is he dark?
is wrong. When I tell you, I got a
I'm dark.
split image of me and my dad. He don't even have a little bit, none at all.
Child looks just
I'm
like
not going,
It is-
I'm not
it's
going for
yours.
that.
He looks just like you,
not
I'm not
Mr.
going for
Wilson.
that.
Even though I hate it,
I'm
I got
not.
to admit it.
I'm not
He
going
looks
for that.
just
He
like
looks nothing like
His
me.
head.
So listen, where are you all at with this right now? 3 years it took you all to get this resolved?
Years.
For her to get it resolved. She left back to Chicago for her reasons. She thought I was gonna follow.
Because
Wasn't
you
happening.
left me on
Wasn't
the corner
happening.
with my kids.
Why'd you leave them on the corner?
I didn't leave them on the corner. We had a little situation with this apartment we was in, okay?
That he was not helping me
Naive.
with.
She had a gullible mind. She let people that she didn't know talk some goofy stuff in her head. So she built up this little story in her head, so she decided to want to leave. And she was like, is you coming with me? I said, no, I'm not. So from that point of me, from her leaving Arizona to coming to Chicago, I haven't seen Jay Sean since. And when I seen Jay Sean, he could have been no more than like 3-4 months. He was still a little baby. That was the last time I seen him.
So
Miss
who do you
McIntyre.
think is Jay Sean's biological father if it isn't you?
I don't know. That's a big question. That's the question I'm trying to find out. But, she was just doing too much dirt. She was just doing as much dirt as I was doing. So I was
Judge
like,
Bonner,
I'm not going for
He's
it.
the dirty one. That's why the ghosts keep falling off. Of
Ain't no
falling off.
ghost
I'm
stayed on
dirty.
me.
He's
I'll
the
say that.
ghosts don't want to be behind his story. Believe me, he's the dirty one. He's no
Ghosts
good.
don't even believe
They
it.
don't want to be bothered, and I don't
I said
blame
that
him.
already.
All right, well, I have the results for you. Jerome?
There you go.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of McIntyre versus Wilson, when it comes to 3-year-old Jay Sean McIntyre, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Wilson, you are his father.
Told you. Told
That's all
you.
I needed to know.
Told you ought to be ashamed.
That's all I needed to know.
You ought to be ashamed.
I
My
needed to
son
know that.
is
That's
cute.
my
Mr.
thing.
Charisma.
I needed to know that.
Hold on, we starting off wrong. You got the clarity you needed, and Miss McIntyre and Mom,
You're
you
right,
said
Donna.
you wanted your son to know his father. That's why when you got ghost, you reappeared.
Right.
But the thing about life is, I always say, you may not achieve perfection, but it's important to seek perspective. You a beautiful young girl. You say you on Facebook meeting guys and getting pictures and talking about they gonna take care of you and your child. You don't have to put yourself out there like that, baby. And you need a point of reference. You can't fall in love and commit to pictures. And Mr. Wilson, I found you very entertaining.
Thank you.
And I did. I mean, you have a magnetic personality. You do. You're an interesting young man. You can make things funny. And even in a very serious situation like this, sometimes we just have to laugh to just keep from crying. Because the child's 3 years old and he doesn't know you. And that's not funny. And the one thing this child cannot afford is for you to go ghost. Would you like to see your beautiful, handsome little boy in my chambers?
Yes, I do.
I will meet you there. Court is adjourned. Look. Ms. McGowan, you say after the death of your husband, you were trying to find your way, but ended up finding a man on the internet, had sex with him, and 2 weeks later, you discovered that you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you claim the defendant, Mr. Martin, is without a doubt the biological father of your 8-month-old baby, Caden. Is that correct? Mr. Martin, you say there's no way you're Caden's biological father, and you claim to have a mile-long list of doubts that will clear your name today in court.
Yes, Your Honor.
One main reason is that you believe the man she's currently living with, who will join us shortly, is baby Caden's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. McGowan, so you say he's done nothing for the child?
Nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing?
Nothing at all. When I met him online, he misrepresented himself. He told me he was a good man, he was a good father, he was into church and everything.
Baby Caden is 8 months old?
Yes, ma'am.
Any diapers?
He tricked me over there one time and said he has diapers for the baby, but he didn't have any. No, he didn't have any.
Mr. Martin?
Yes, yes.
You've done nothing for the child?
No, I did nothing.
Why?
Because in fact, first night we had sex. The first day we met each other, we had sex. And the reason why I don't believe is this is my child, because she's very promiscuous. And when you have sex with a woman, the first day, that's red flag anyway.
Did you use protection?
No,
No, So if you have sex with a woman on the first day and you don't use protection, you understand that if it's in the window of conception, you might be her child's father, right? No matter how.
Yeah.
No matter how promiscuous she may be.
Well, first of all, far as my sperm count, it stays low because I have sickle cell, and it's hard for me to make a baby anyway. And when as far as the sex thing, when the passion goes, it goes. And we got time to be doing all that. When you in the heat of the moment.
Are you suggesting you don't have time to use protection?
I'm clean. I'm clean. I trust that she was clean.
It ain't that much trust in the world.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So,
Well,
you can do all that.
Well, Your Honor.
And not do anything for a child you possibly created?
Only reason why, because after the fact we had sex, I went through her phone. When I went through her phone,
Yes, the first night went through my phone.
I went through her phone, and I woke up out of sleep. I said, so a man just came over here the other day and gave you sex and saying in the text.
But you had just met her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I just met her.
And
The
going
first
through my
night,
phone.
wait, the first night you're with her, you have sex, then you looking through her phone. You don't use protection,
Okay.
because you ain't got time for all that.
Crazy.
That's ludicrous. Explain to me, if this in fact is the sexual encounter you've had, as irresponsible as it is, it's done now. After it happens, and then there's a baby on the way, I need to understand how you can doubt.
Because there was other men's involved.
Okay, but wouldn't you then be one of the potential men?
Okay, out of one of the potential men,
All right.
there's others.
Okay.
So therefore, I cannot be that one. I cannot. You know what I'm saying?
What math are you doing?
What math I'm doing?
In your mind, because if you are one of the potential fathers, how do you exclude yourself from the number of men that could potentially be her child's father?
Because the next day she had sex with another guy.
Oh my God.
Ms. McGowan, I'm gonna go to you. I wanna
Thank
give
you.
Mr. Martin time to
Thank you.
process.
Yeah, because he's in La La Land.
He's saying there are other men. And you were here and you're convinced he's the father.
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
you have sex with somebody else the next night after?
No, I did not the next night. He got all kind of men in his head. I went with the mailman, the milkman, just in his head. Because one minute he nice and the next minute he not. But he is the father, no doubt.
Why are you so convinced? Can you just explain that to me?
Yes, because of the conception date. And my son looked exactly like him. Exactly like him. Even Ray Charles can see that.
Do you have any proof
Yes,
of the
I have the
dates you were
calendar of
intimate?
the dates.
You do?
Yes,
I'd like
ma'am.
to see that. Jerome, would you hand me her evidence, please? All right. So you presented a calendar that outlines the date you were intimate with Mr. Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's April 2nd.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're intimate with Mr. Martin on the 2nd. The doctor tells you your conception date is estimated at April 3rd. Were you in a relationship with anybody else at that
No,
time?
ma'am, I was not.
Did you have sex with any other men during the window of conception?
I did a couple of days later, I did.
A couple days later. Okay,
Matter of fact, 3 days.
listen, this is court. I need you to be honest with me. That's why we're here. It's
Okay.
to get the answers.
Okay.
So a couple days later, you had sex with someone else.
Yes, ma'am.
Would that be a couple days as in April 5th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How about April 6th?
Yes. Same person, though. It was the same person.
Would that be Mr. Brodie that's in our court?
Yes, ma'am.
So why are you so convinced it's Mr. Martin's child when you had sex with Mr. Brodie so close in proximity to when you had sex with Mr. Martin? Did you use protection with Mr. Brodie?
No, ma'am.
How do you stand here and just point the finger at Mr. Martin
Because
when you know that you were also intimate with another man without using protection a couple days later?
yes, ma'am.
Do you have a relationship with the other man, Mr. Brodie?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I do.
What's your relationship?
We live together.
You do? So you live with Mr. Brodie,
Yes.
but you truly believe your child is Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Wake up, really.
But if your child is Mr. Martin's, that would negatively affect your relationship with Mr. Brodie.
Yes.
Yet you're here to prove
Yes, ma'am.
that your child is Mr. Martin's child.
Yes. And he don't want Caden to be his son because he don't want to take no responsibility for nothing. He got other kids he don't take care of.
well, I
So
do.
but his
no.
sperm count low.
But,
remember he said his sperm count low?
I mean, all my other kids got sickle
Where
cell.
you get that from?
Do he got sickle cell?
Your son does not have sickle cell.
Who was at the hospital,
you
Ms.
called for
McGowan?
Mr. Brodie.
Because you weren't gonna have me come up
I
there.
called him.
He didn't want to.
come.
He didn't want to do that.
You say you called him?
Yes.
Did you get that phone call, Mr. Martin?
I texted him, matter of fact.
She
He
text-
texted me 3 days later. My baby was in the NICU 12 days.
Okay, well.
At the hospital.
Never
If
visited the baby?
No. I texted
about
him
money.
before I went to the hospital. He didn't come.
It's about money.
And Mr. Brodie been there for me since day
He been
one.
dropping off
So
money.
you said,
Money talk.
since he didn't show, I will take the gentleman I'm with and let him support me through
No,
this.
he just been supporting me from day one since my pregnancy. He been supporting me. And I had a hard pregnancy, Your Honor. My baby was born 5 weeks early. His lungs was not mature. He stayed in NICU for 12 days. He was around the corner. He could have walked to the hospital. That's how close he is to the hospital. He did not come.
I think it's time we meet Mr. Brodie. Jerome, will you please escort him into the courtroom?
Careful going up the step.
Mr. Brodie, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
You know, we're here discussing the paternity as it relates to baby Caden.
Yes, ma'am.
There's been testimony by Ms. McGowan that you were in a sexual relationship with her during the window of conception.
Yes,
So you could potentially be Caden's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Question to you.
Uh-huh.
Do you believe you are Caden's biological father? Do you believe you are Caden's biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
I do.
You want to be
Yes, ma'am.
this child's father?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
Because I've been there, man, Tina and I, Miss McGowan and I have been messing around since February. I just pray that he's mine. I really do. Because when he was born, he looked like me. He was a little light-skinned red baby. He had my cow licks and everything. And I was the first one to see that child in the NIC unit when they took him from his mother when he stopped breathing. I sent her the pictures of him. I was there. When Miss McGowan was going through it, she was borderline just diabetes while she was pregnant with him. I took care of Miss McGowan. I washed her clothes. I fed her. Her feet would swell up. I took care of her. I made sure she was at her appointments. I took care of Miss McGowan.
So did you sign the birth certificate?
No, ma'am, because one thing I say is this. Before I signed that birth certificate, his real father, if I'm not his father, his real father should have the opportunity to put his name on there and have his son in his name. That's what I'm here for.
You have the birth certificate?
ma'am,
Let
I
me
sure
see
do.
that. Jerome, will you hand me that, please? So this is baby Caden's birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
And there is
No father.
no father listed. And you did that purposefully.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
I did that because I wasn't sure who the father was, but I thought I should wait until I find out the truth before I put any father on there. But I think if Marcel is the father, he needs to step up and take her responsibility. And if he wants anything to do with my son, I think he should put his name on the birth certificate.
Well, I did try to step up to the opportunity.
No, he didn't.
After the 6-week checkup, after his 6-week checkup, she called me. She said, I'm finna go to 6-week checkup. I had to come by. She came and spent the night. We had sex.
Oh, my God.
We had sex after that 6 weeks.
6 weeks, she was at my house.
Well, after she came from that appointment, she spent the night at my house.
Her and Caden was at my house. No, they were not.
Oh, trust
At
me.
her 6 weeks.
I guess, and another
I
thing.
took her for her 6-week checkup.
You know when she got her hair done?
and Caden.
You know when she got her hair done and came back home?
Because I done it. Roller said I done that.
Oh, you done
her
that?
braids, yeah.
Well,
You doing roller
Man, I took care of this woman. What he talking about? He don't know nothing. He just sitting here running off his mouth. You had fun
Well, look, check
laying
this out.
down with Miss McGowan, but you can't have fun taking care of
Well, check
Caden
this
and
out.
Joel. That's the problem.
that's right.
If I can do it, you
he
can.
does nothing.
Because if he's my son,
Okay.
you better believe we won't have to hear from you no more. And if he is yours, we still don't have to hear from you because we ain't hearing from you now.
You gonna hear from
But
me.
you running your
gonna hear
mouth.
from me, bro.
That's what the
You gonna
problem
hear
is
from me, bro.
right now.
You gonna hear from me, bro.
Well,
hear
you
me?
better step up or step out. Which one you gonna
I'm ready.
do?
I'm
If
ready
he's
to step
yours,
up.
you better
I'm ready
step
to
up.
step up. That's what I did.
You
Oh, my God.
Let's get some order.
Chill down a little.
Okay.
Chill out a little bit.
Your Honor, you see his whole conversation about being with me?
Ain't
That's his
saying nothing about
focus
being with
solely on me. He cares nothing about, he don't even know my baby middle name.
You see me? Right there. That's me. That's me and Stinker right there. That's Stinker Man.
He knows,
Oh, he's so cute.
he knows no one else but him.
That's
don't
all
know
he
who
knows.
this
He
is.
knows me.
I don't know who this is, and he don't know either.
Your Honor, this past Father's Day, Memphis, Tennessee saw it in them to award me with Community Father of the Year award in
that's
Memphis,
wonderful.
Tennessee. The mayor was there, city council was there, and state representatives was there. So Caden will not fall short on a daddy or a father when it comes down to that.
That is great to hear.
I'm a single father. I have a 7-year-old daughter I've been taking care of since 2009. And when I was told she was pregnant, 41 years old, me, it just blew my mind. And then when I seen him in that NIC unit with those tubes running out of him, that was my baby. He's mine. And I don't understand how a man can walk around here and wonder about the mother instead of what's laying in that basket net with them tubes running out of him. He's so worried about Miss McGowan, what she got going on with me. It's not about Miss McGowan and I. It ain't even about him. It's about that little baby right there. It's not about money, following
worrying
no
about
money.
what- You
I
don't know
have
about
no
me.
money.
Just because you.
But I got all the love and I can make sure he got
I'm
a roof
good,
over his
too.
head and food to eat. Make sure he get his education. That's what I can do.
And well, ultimately, it really is about baby Caden.
It is.
Most definitely.
And that's why we're all here.
Yes.
And I have the answers you all are seeking. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please?
Please do. And just know, if it is my baby, I'm stepping up to the fullest.
Well, do that. I'd be proud of you.
And I hope you don't
that.
mind.
I would not.
Can you
take
bring him to the
for that.
house? Can you bring him to the house to me?
Never.
You give me some gas money, yeah.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I
You on the
got
same thing I'm on.
Do you
got
all
you.
want to argue or do you want to get the results?
I want
got
the
you.
results.
Get the results,
Okay.
ma'am.
We get the results.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of McGowan versus Martin, when it comes to 8-month-old Caden McGowan, pertaining to whether his biological father is Mr. Martin or Mr. Brodie, it has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Martin.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, now I can get my rights. I can spend time with my baby and teach my baby how to be a carpenter.
Mr. Martin,
I just want y'all to bring him.
I just want to tell you this. You've missed 8 months.
Just bring him over and I got the gas money. We don't need no more talk. Conversation over. But I do thank you for stepping up, buying him all that stuff. And I told her when she came over to the house after that 6 weeks, and I told her, I said, this man done did all this stuff. It got to be his child because ain't no man in his right mind just gonna pick up and just do that. But you did. But you did.
What
but
kind
you
of
did.
men? What kind of men do you know?
That's what I want to know.
We see this right
Thank
here.
him, Your Honor.
I'm glad they broke the mold.
Hold on. Mr. Martin, let me inform you.
father wasn't there.
Let me inform you
So I
of
don't know
something.
no man.
I've seen plenty of men step up for a child that could not possibly be their biological child
Yeah.
because they recognize that an innocent child needs that. Now, you all trying to outdo one another? No. Instead of competition, work in concert. How about that? Ms. Lusk, you and your mother say you have no doubt whatsoever when it comes to knowing who your 3-year-old daughter, Samari's biological father, is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, the man you claim is her father has died, and now you find yourself facing off against his mother, who is just as convinced that she is not your daughter's grandmother.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Paige, you say there's no way in this world Ms. Lusk is being truthful. For starters, you contend your son was in a committed relationship with another woman, and until he passed away, you had never heard of Ms. Lusk. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Lusk, describe to the court how difficult this situation has been for you and your daughter.
It's been more than extremely difficult being pregnant at 16, having to still go through school. These past 4 years, everything has been on me and my mother. And I feel it's completely unfair because he has a whole other side. She has a whole other side to her family. My daughter is beautiful, and you missed out on 4 years, almost 4 years of my child's life. Not
Okay,
only
Ms.
me,
Lusk,
not
everybody's
only
a
me.
single parent. You're
You're
not the only
absolutely
one.
correct, but you
It
were a
happens
single
every
parent
day,
as well.
all day.
You were a single parent. You raised Desmond by yourself. You raised Desmond by yourself.
Yes.
You're raising a was now pregnant by yourself.
Okay.
So you should feel where I'm coming from.
Okay.
But not
You
only
don't-
that,
Let's get some order, ladies.
you're absolutely correct. I am, and I'm doing a good job. I have 2 jobs.
Let's get
I
some
have
order.
2 jobs. Going back to college in August. You're absolutely
Wonderful.
correct. You're absolutely correct. But you should be on my side, if anybody, because you've been there.
Miss
My daughter is
Lusk,
beautiful.
Miss Lusk, calm down. Calm down. Ms. Lusk, you were saying your daughter Samari is almost 4. She's 3 right now.
Yes, ma'am. She'll
And
be
you're
4 in
saying
September.
you believe Miss Paige's son is her biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately, her son is deceased, so this has been an ongoing paternity issue for the past 3 years related to this beautiful, precious little girl. And you're saying you need help.
They're out for money. I had insurance on
What
my
money?
son. I had an insurance policy. They're out for
That we
money.
knew
And-
nothing about.
Let her
That we
speak.
knew nothing about.
Unless it's proven, it's not my son's
You
baby.
never posted
I know
it on
anything
Facebook.
about
Miss Lusk.
Knew nothing about her.
You said you have an insurance policy.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so this insurance policy is in the amount of $50,000. You submitted that paperwork to the court. It is your testimony today that Ms. Lusk is attempting to get a portion of that money.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's why she's claiming your deceased son is her child's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor. I never heard of Ms. Lusk.
And
Never.
that
Your
was not
son
true.
was in a committed relationship.
That we
Ms.
knew
Lusk
nothing
was
about.
never brought up,
That we knew
or
nothing
brought
about.
around.
And the
Who
crazy
is
thing
Ms.
is, the last time we were intimate, you knocked on the door. You interrupted us. Yes, ma'am. I was
It's
in
in
your
her
house.
head. It's
I
in
was
Ms.
in your
Lusk's
room,
head. I
and you
never
came
heard
and
of
knocked
Ms.
on the
Lusk.
door.
Ms. Lusk,
Absolutely
explain
fine.
to the court what happened that day.
It was a normal time scheduled routine that I would actually come over there because we had times that I would come over to see him because he only stayed a few blocks from my school. And during certain periods, whether it was gym or my lunch period, I would go, I would walk. He would meet me halfway.
When was
Absolutely
the first
correct, I
time you
did it.
physically saw me?
The first time I actually saw you.
When you proclaimed you were pregnant, you was very petite, no stomach, looking like an innocent child.
Yes,
You
ma'am. He
asked
said-
for
go
the
to
same
the
way I
school
look
to
now.
See my child. You asked to go to the school. Of course she wasn't showing. She was just pregnant.
You went to see Ms. Lusk at school?
Yes, I
Yes,
gave
I
her
went to see
permission.
her at school
They
to
had
talk
to
to her
call
and
and
to
ask
find out what was going on. She didn't look pregnant. She was holding her head down. She had no stomach whatsoever.
But at the same time, this was my first time meeting you, Miss Paige. Her exact words were, "You look like his type. You're very pretty, very small."
Miss Lusk
And
and
she
Miss
said the
Anderson, my
same
son didn't
thing.
have a particular type. He was in a relationship.
Miss Paige, you're saying your son was in a relationship with a different woman, a long-term relationship.
Yes,
one.
for years.
More than one. We're
Another
here
young
today.
lady came out to pin the baby on him, and I did a DNA test, and it was zero probability.
And that's
no,
why
I'm
we're
not,
here
I'm
now.
not claiming
And
no baby.
we're
no.
not them.
Now listen, you said you had never seen her before until you went to her school.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you get the news that she potentially was pregnant?
Well, I'm thinking that someone told me via Facebook or something like that.
No, ma'am.
So please respond, Miss Anderson. How do you know what happened?
I contacted Miss Paige through Facebook to tell her to call me. She called me, and that's when I broke the news to her about my daughter being pregnant by her son.
Okay. And so you had a conversation, and during that conversation, what was said?
The very first thing she said to me is, my son is a legend. My son has women coming out the woodwork. She seemed proud.
And he's always gonna be a legend in my book.
She then had the nerve
Always.
to say to me that her son had no reason to be doing whatever he was doing in his past. And Your Honor, we have never asked her for anything.
At all.
Once she suggested bringing over a used walker. We declined her walker. She went into one of her little, "Oh, that ain't my grandbaby. Make sure you find your baby's daddy." And she's publicly putting it on Facebook. My
Also to
child's
the
name.
point where I can't defend myself because she'll have me blocked or she'll have it where I can't post comments. And I don't slander her on my Facebook. Not once have I ever
We've
said anything
never
bad
said
about
anything
this
about
woman.
her.
Miss Paige, are you posting things about Miss Lusk, this young girl, on Facebook?
She inboxed me, and me and her went back and forth on Facebook.
You're absolutely. But what led up to that,
as
Miss
far as the
Paige?
stroller,
What led up to that, Miss Page?
Hold on,
One at a time.
You made a post.
I know anything about a stroller because I'm not providing a stroller for a child
It
that I don't
wasn't a
even know.
stroller,
my
it was
son.
a walker.
Whatever it was,
All right.
I'm not buying nothing.
Once Samari was born, did you allow Miss Paige the opportunity to see her? Did you say, the baby's here now, if
No,
you'd like
ma'am.
to?
Because prior to that, we were already where she was on Facebook saying, you need to have your daughter find the baby's daddy. My son is not it. You're not allowed to put the baby in the last name Paige. You don't have my permission. Like
Yes,
we
Miss
really
Anderson,
needed
'cause
it.
your daughter's on
like
the
we
back page,
didn't
yes.
need your permission.
But the daughter's name is Samari Dior Anderson Paige.
And that's not
So
how
you
it is.
gave Samari Desmond's last name.
Without my permission.
We don't need your permission. It was permission when I laid down and was
No,
intimate with him.
no, it's
That's
not- it's-
permission.
it's not been
That's
proven.
permission.
It's not been proven.
But it will be
You're-
today.
you're not
but it
his
will be
wife.
today.
You're
You're
not his
absolutely
wife.
correct. I don't have to be, and you're not either. You wasn't in the room, Miss
I'm
Paige.
his mother.
Okay, and I'm his baby mother.
No, you're not.
Yes, ma'am.
You're
Absolutely.
a wannabe.
What I'm not understanding is it seems like you all have had consistent contact with one another. Has Miss Paige had an opportunity to see Samari?
No, ma'am.
Never.
I seen her
She's
one
seen her
time by
once.
accident at an acquaintance birthday party.
So you've never had the opportunity to come by and spend
she
time
held
with
my
her.
daughter at that party. She also, she had the opportunity, yes ma'am,
Yes,
she has.
Miss Lusk, I held her and I got a picture taken
You had a
someone want
few.
to see. Did she
You had
even
a few. And
favor the family?
You posted it on Facebook. You posted it on your Facebook page.
To be
So,
honest,
yes,
I
ma'am.
don't
This
want
is my
Myra
first time
around
seeing
him.
you, Miss Anderson.
Yes, it is, and my first time, and hopefully last, seeing you.
The feeling is mutual.
Okay, because we don't
Listen,
want you around.
but if
I
listen,
don't want my
listen,
child.
if the baby is Desmond's, this will not be the last time you all see one another. And that's why I don't know why we carrying on up in here today like this. You all could both be the grandmothers of this beautiful, beautiful
I'm
little girl.
definitely the grandmother. This is my child.
We know that. The statement is that both of you all could be, meaning Miss Paige could be as well. So at the end of the day, let's just focus on the facts so we can see how we go forward. Now, I've done enough of these cases to know Miss Paige is grieving. She doesn't even have a person to review these facts with. Let's be clear. She can't say to her son, Desmond, I need to talk to you about this, this, and this, so I can get an understanding. And so I'm sure much of this animosity, ma'am, and I hope I'm not speaking for you incorrectly, but much of this pain and animosity that is coming out in your testimony is because you do feel like you have a situation before you and you have absolutely no one to ask a question about it, and you've lost your son in the process. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The only facts you can go by is the positioning of your son, what you were able to see prior to his passing, and that is what you were told, and you thought he was in a relationship with someone else, a long-standing relationship. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you didn't have any reason to know or believe your son was having sex outside of that relationship with anyone else. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I am just trying to give you all an opportunity to calm down and to see that there are two sides to this story. There really is. Now, the animosity you all have built up, that is because you've handled the situation inappropriately. A situation this delicate, it'll never need to play out on a Facebook. Miss Paige, I want to understand from you, have you tried to ask some of Desmond's friends, maybe some of your other family members, were you aware that he was in a relationship with Miss Lusk? Were you aware he may have had a child?
I have asked everybody. Nobody even know of Miss Lusk. Nobody.
Okay. Now, Miss Lusk, I want to ask you respectfully, were you aware that Desmond was in another relationship with someone else?
No, Your Honor. I didn't find out until the day of and the day after his passing.
So how did you find that out?
Facebook, social media, and that's when, I believe, four days after his passing, that's when I took my own pregnancy test and found out I was pregnant. That was April 24th. His funeral was April 27th. I didn't go to his funeral. I couldn't, because how can I show my face as, like, how can I even go? I can't even support
Miss
somebody.
Lusk, I didn't have time to grieve. I didn't have time to grieve
either. We haven't
The day
either.
after my son was killed, his first daughter was born.
I understand.
You said.
Okay, I understand completely. But you are a grown woman. I was 16. The way you slandered me on Facebook.
Serious,
You
Miss Lusk?
you called my premature daughter ugly.
I did. She looked funny. She didn't
Wait,
look
It
like
was 3 months early, Miss Paige.
Listen.
3 months early. And look at my daughter. That is
Listen.
the spitting image of your son. It doesn't hurt me. It's
I
gonna
don't
hurt that
see it.
child.
One at a time. Miss
Quote,
Paige,
unquote.
Miss
Yes, Your
Paige,
Honor.
if in fact this beautiful baby girl is your late son's biological daughter, do you want to have a relationship with her?
I can't answer that.
And why is that? Why is that? Because each year,
Miss
Give her a
Lusk,
chance to respond.
Miss Lusk, it's too much. It's too much drama.
and it's too much for me as well because you caused the drama, Miss Paige.
Listen. I know both of you are grieving. I know both of you are just beyond yourselves in trauma, in grief, So I am trying to give you a moment to let it out, but I'm not gonna let this train leave this station and leave this baby behind.
And Your Honor, not
No, it is uncomfortable to me from where I sit, Miss Paige, to watch you shouting and shouting at this young girl because you are more than double her age.
Double.
And I'm saying this because I know this is not really what you want to do. And I know your anger and your frustration is coming from this place of grief. But when I ask you, if this is your son's daughter, do you want to have a relationship? And you say, I don't know because I don't know if I can take the drama. If that is your truth, I accept that. But what I will not accept is you all operating as if this drama has to exist, because it doesn't.
And that's all I want.
Let's get the truth. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Because there wasn't a blood card available to test the DNA of the deceased, Desmond Paige, we performed a DNA test with his surviving parent, LaJuan Paige. With that being said, the results determine if there is a viable relationship between the child, Samari Paige, and LaJuan Paige. In the case of Lusk versus Paige, when it comes to 3-year-old Samari Paige, it has been determined by this court the probability of relatedness between Miss Paige and Samari Paige is 99.96%.
Yeah, 4 years. And I never asked nothing
4
of
years,
you. I never asked
my
nothing
son been
of
deceased.
you.
You're supposed to do what you got to do as a mother.
Stop
absolutely correct,
arguing.
and I have.
Ladies, both of you all are in so much pain. Everything that comes out your mouth is bitter. It's not helping you. It's not helping that baby. And it definitely does not honor Desmond. Yep. Every child needs their parents. And when unfortunate situations arise like this, where life is cut short, all we have left for this child to understand truly who her father was, his life, pictures of him, that's you. And you want that little girl walking around this world having stories about her daddy. And that's how you keep someone's legacy alive.